Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. Final part of Canto 6 is out now, which means we've got a bunch of new egos. This time, of course, we're going to be focusing on the big one, Heathcliff Binds. Now, this one is pretty interesting. 7 target, rolls pretty high. Only a 10 sanity cost, which is kind of insane, but you also lose 10 SP at the turn end for the very next 3 turns. So you basically, it's a bit of a longer-term sanity loss, right? And also, after attack, next turn, gain 20 bind, 1 before the king binds, and 2 attack power. Now, this before the king binds is probably the most interesting thing. When units attacked with the 1 attack weight hit, do 100% of the damage dealt against 2 enemies with least HP that can be attacked. So basically, before the king binds turns all single target attack effectively into 3-weight multi-target, right? Which is very interesting. Of course, you get a lot of binds, so you couldn't get a funny quick suppression off with this, unfortunately, because you've got 20 bind, a little bit too much bind. And also, some other stuff too. The passive is also pretty good for res and stuff. We're also going to focus on the king of binds. We're going to try and see if we can get some funny mass attacking off. So I've assembled a team that's got a lot of the sin affinities we need, and we're going to see how well it goes. Alright. For the actual turn team order goes, it doesn't matter too much. So, in case you're wondering what the team's been built around, we exclusively have the 4 sins we need for Heathcliff Binds, because I believe it's 4 Gloom, 3 Envy, 2 Pride, 2 Lust. So we've exclusively got those sins, just because, might as well, if we can, right? If we can't focus entirely on the actual sin affinities that we need for the binds. It's funny. It's going to be a very mono, color team on the dashboard. That's kind of what we want, right? So the thought process here kind of is the fact that if it's only a 10 sanity cost, you only lose 20 sanity first turn, because you lose 10 when you use it, and you also, oh yeah, we've got the Nelly and Heathcliff announcers, of course. What was I saying, though, darn? It has slipped my mind. No, right. No, it's still gone. No, yeah, but I figured it out. But because, if it's only effectively 20 sand cost first turn, if you kill the enemy super fast, it's really a not very expensive ego as far as sanity goes. Now, don't get me wrong, the actual, the sin resources are all, it's actually not, too bad as far as sin resources is concerned. It's what, 11 cost? That's fair enough for Evolve, right? We'll be able to use this a lot. And we could theoretically also use Otis's, but Otis's takes 4th sloth, so we're not going to see it unless we get a new gift that gives us a bunch of resources, right? We'll pull it out here, why not? Is it unnecessary in this situation? Yeah, but it's funny. And we've got a big Gloom Resonance going. Which means we, funny. Okay, only got tails, that's fine. That's the really good thing, because it's a 10 sanity cost. It's gonna have a 35% heads chance if you use it at max sanity, which for Evolve, that's kind of insane. Otis is also Evolved in case you've missed that, which is very wacky. I haven't used Otis much at all, so I don't know how worthy it is of being Evolved. I imagine fairly worthy though, right? I don't know. And there we go. Nice. And we'll have enough resources to immediately use binds in the next fight too. How swell. Okay, clear miracle and water, sure. Why not? Heathcliff skill change. You give you another skill 3. Not a bad idea. Always nice. What else do we want? What else could synergize with this? Scar Moths could be funny. Carmilla is always funny. We'll roll with that, that's good enough. We don't really have too much, poise synergy going on for Clear Mirror Calm Water. But we do have some, of course. We've got you. You do have poise, although it's a little bit iffy sometimes. You might be able to do like something like Nebulizer to actually be able to manage it decently, though, right? That's the hope. Mercer's got this. We get Perversion. And onto the fight. Weak to Slash. By me, we're going to bind them either way. Yeah. The Emblem itself also is a pretty, like, cool name. Because we thought it was just Bound to King, but instead it's the King in Binds. Which is roughly the same thing, just phrased a little differently, but it sounds cool, right? Okay, you kind of need some sanity gain. However, you can just win this clash, that'll do something, right? I've got Faust here so that we can potentially trigger whistles, in case we need to. I don't know if we've got enough lust to make that too reasonable a thing we can manage, right? We did get land heads of the bind, though, so that's nice. Of course, if we can manage to get Faith, that would also help out a lot. Making our sanity game a lot easier to manage. In -16, we'll lose more sanity here, that's fine. Actually, with Kill Execution, that's an SP up for everyone, right? Yeah, okay, that helps too. I guess also Captain Ishmael might have been a good idea, but we didn't need Wrath, so I didn't think about bringing her. So that means that you're allowed to munch on biscuits in the middle of the fight, however. That's good. I can promise you that wasn't what I thought you meant, Nelly. Just so you know. If these guys survive till next turn, we can get whistles off. But you can see we've got Before the King binds here. We're not gonna get a chance to use it because the enemies will just die, though. Maybe we did get to use it a little bit, huh? Well, that's convenient. I think we just killed that other guy with the attack on that we did there. That's nice. We'll roll with it. Roll 6,000, but none of that particularly helps us. And what's the plan here? Middle? Yeah, let's go middle. That'll work. Do we do it? We won't do it this fight. If it's just bugs, we should probably just not do it anyways. We can get Whistle trigger next turn. That'll be nice. Might help out a bit. You'll get some sanity up too, just by winning clashes and the like. You're 19, like that's not bad right now, right? But yeah, trigger whistles. That'll be a 15 SP up for you, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm very intentionally not talking about Canto 6. I mean, it's P. Canto 6 is P. Once again, please play through it yourself. If you haven't already. I will not talk about it for at least a couple of days on the actual daily mirror dungeons because you really just need to play it for yourself. Yeah, just keeps on topping themselves in a way that really is quite insane. How do they do it? Who knows? We may never know, right? That's alright. I mean, let's see how long they can keep it up, because it's absolutely incredible so far. Oh! King and Binds, cool. I mean, I guess we'll take the Ego Gift. It's a little bit strong, after all. Oh, never mind, we failed. As without the Pride Affinity. I think, yeah, Linton's the Gregor's the only idea on our team that doesn't have Pride, it would seem. If we can enhance Clear Miracle and Water, it's a funny idea. We don't have enough cost to warrant it, though. We might just save up. Funny. Yeah, Pride 5 people have, the other ones 4 people have. Pretty silly. We'd have it even better if we had, if we brought Ufi Heathcliff instead of, Queecliff. Ufi Heathcliff got the same sin affinity except with all the Gloom. Hey, Gregor. What's up? Being whiny and I don't know why. We didn't need to trigger whistles there, but I figured might as well. It's more bugs, so I'm not going to use binds now. We'll use it in the next fight, though, right? I'm just kind of keep on beating these guys up so we get more binds off. We'll just see if any of the enemies are going to really be tanky enough to really get too much usage out of binds, because the issue is, of course, when you get the actual funny status effect that gives us the mass attack, we're also given 20 binds, so we need the rest of our allies to not instantly kill everyone, which is a bit of a tall task sometimes. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Grand Welcome. Would have been really nice to just make our resources even easier to manage, although I think this team's going to do a pretty fine job of managing our resources. Building up exactly what we need. Alright, though. No need to worry about it much at all, right? These guys all die, and we move on to the boss of the 5th floor. Let me press on. We do have Clear Miracle and Water, so we could get some funny poise stuff going. That's also always a possibility for this run. Would definitely be funny to get crits on binds. And also just like the funny mass attack you get next turn. It's only Ebony Queen's Apple, so she's not going to be very alive for very long. Kind of going to do a lot of damage pretty quickly. Okay. Binds, it hits everything no matter which part we target. That's not really a big concern, right? Something like that, that'll work. Reminds me of the brainy sword I met back in my syndicate days. Huh? What does that mean? The brainy sword he met in his syndicate days. Interesting. I wonder if that has any meaning to it or if he's just rambling. Knowing Heathcliff, either one would make sense, right? We get the binds off, we get the heads because we're at 35 sanity. Pretty convenient. Good damage. Did like half of Ebony Queen's HP in one hit, which... it happens. We also broke the roots with Gregor, so that's nice. And so I think we will just kill you before we get the chance to do any funny mass attack things, which is unfortunate. This is a good enemy to do funny mass attack things on, right? That's alright. You got so many parts we can attack. Would have been nice, but that's fine. This means we get to kill you pretty easily. Means we don't lose too much either this Shannon Heathcliff. So we still lose a 10 SP there. Okay. That's what I figured, right? And I wasn't really paying much attention to see for sure. So he's gonna lose 30 sanity basically no matter what per usage of the ego if it's turn 1. Which is most of the damage, right? That's fine.
파우스트가 나설 만한 곳이어야 할 겁니다.
Okay, and some crab. These guys are weak to gloom. Might be a good place for a little bit of binds then. I guess once again, we'll try and see if we can potentially get off the whistles next turn. We'll have at least 3 lust stuff we can go for, so we could either ego for the last one. Do we have anyone that could ego for the last one, actually? Not unless we had Heathcliff ego, yeah. And then he'd be using Yosinata, so we wouldn't actually be getting the funny effect from the status effect from the bind.
아이들이 싫어하는 음식이 뭐였는지 정확히 간파했네.
모조리 치워버려.
결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라.
Yeah, no whistles, that's fine.
잘 들어.
Unless we were to ego with you, but that's also a fairly bad idea. We'll see if this is going to get the chance to attack you, because once again, these guys are all staggered. They're all fairly dead, so they might just die. Yeah, it looks like they're about to just die.
정리하겠습니다. 초대받지 않은
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을
Dusted them all properly. That's for sure. It's one way to describe, you know, rudely murdering a bunch of people. Or I guess they were just crabs in this case, but she'd also say it about a bunch of people. Enemies suffering from a low SP effect. Sure thing. We've got a lot of sinking. Might help. We could also upgrade it if we wanted to, yeah. I like that idea. Let's head towards the rest stop. Yeah, it means we won't get too many events, but it'll be funny.
가자. 죽이라.
자자, 대열 정비하고 식기들은 윤이 날
Okay.
정도로 잘 갈렸는지 다시 확인하고.
Utensils
옷장은
are well polished.
이제 대청소를
course.
시작해 볼까?
What are you thinking? Go for it again? I think so, yeah. Might as well. We can get some gloom resonance too. How quaint. I just love the word quaint.
나는 이 왕좌에 묶여 홀로 통치하는 자일지니.
Yeah, do a little bit of damage. Kill one of them, that's nice.
뭘 어떻게 한 거야?
We heal a bunch of sanity from getting the kill and stuff, though, and all the enemies are dead already. Oh no, you're still alive. We can't trigger whistles here, so it's fine.
겁나.
Well, we just kill with Nightmare Hunt, I believe.
이제 보자.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를
As long as we
털어냈네.
go.
그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지?
We'll just go this way, yeah. And then we'll go up here, get to the rest stop. So I want to upgrade artistic sense to ++, because then we'll do a bunch more damage to avenues and stuff, which is funny.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도
Wrong
안 되는
person.
놈이니까.
These guys are all staggered thanks to Carmilla already, so,
보자.
they're not having a fun time. They're gonna have an even more fun time after we, you know, even closer to brutally slaughter them with a mass attack and stuff. Whatever I'm trying to say, right? Here's the binds, we get the heads, of course.
나는 이 왕좌에 묶여 홀로 통치하는 자일지니. 혼자서 뭘 어떻게 한 거야? 야, 좀 그런 건 배우자. 나도.
Yeah, so they're not all dead quite yet.
초대받지 않은 것들 모조리
우리가
치워버려.
우세한
That's something. They are gonna be dead here, though. And of course, the other ones. Is there any way to get Heathcliff enough speed for him to actually still be fine with 20 bind? In the solos? I'm trying to think. None of his IDs actually have a way to gain haste, right?
하늘을 찔렀어.
Yeah, because even stuff like Rabbit is haste-based, but he doesn't actually gain haste with his skills. I don't know how much it would work. He of course does have. He's got Body Sack. He's got ADD. Might be all he's got for. Oh, not that one. Almost went the wrong way.
가자. 죽이라.
I don't know.
주인님이 도착하기 전까지 끝내보자.
Not really a lot of ways to get stupid amounts of speed. I guess like
맞이할 준비를
if you're running like him with like a Yisong, have Yisong do the crow save you for the speed for an ally. That's only like 3, right? But it's kind of barely nothing. Body Sack is 3 speed, which is barely anything. There's not really enough ways to give speed to Heathcliff for him to reasonably. That's probably why they settled for 20. It's a high number, but it's basically impossible to have enough haste to counterback it. It is theoretically possible. And I guess you don't need 20, right? Because if Heathcliff rolls like a 7 for speed or something,
결국 마지막까지 서 있는
then if you just get rid of like, you know, like 15 or something, then that is still like a 2 speed roll.
저 새끼
If you got 15 haste and 20 bind, you still get a 2 speed roll in such a situation, which is certainly something.
정화.
So we didn't ego here, but I mean, if we don't ego turn 1, there's probably not a reason to ego turn 2, right? Some of the Slaughter guys are a little bit tankier compared to some of the other enemies, but not enough for it to be a very big concern at all. That one's down. Is it just you? It might be. Sever not probably just kills though, because you're weak to Pierce and Envy. And yeah, down they go. But Druid is the best solution in it. So real for that Heathcliff. So real for beating everything to death. Okay. You can get our physics sense to ++. And do 50% more damage against enemies without Sandir with 0 less SP. Pretty funny. We'll upgrade Kermit a little bit. We'll upgrade Bloodspin Tears a little bit. We might as well upgrade Clear Calm Water a little bit. Even if it's not going to be the most usable for us, but that's fine. Okay, teleport time. Or Alleyway Watchdog. Teleport the ego. Oh, the power just flashed. That was interesting. Hopefully that doesn't mean something's about to go horribly wrong with my connection or something, but only time will tell, right? Wait before we flash some of these before we do that. We'll be able to get whistles going next turn, so that'll be nice. That'll be quite enjoyable. There's a bad clash we don't feel like going for. I don't really know. You do that, and then you can just clash this guy, sure. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work, okay. Salu wins the clash because it's good at clashing, and we declare duel on the body, so that'll help out. Yeah, this is a fight where we might be able to get a fairly good usage out of binds, out of the status effect specifically. But there is a bunch of random parts to this wolf that you really don't attack too frequently, but just being able to do some additional damage to them could be nice. It'll target the parts with the least HP, I presume. I assume it means number and not percentage. I'm pretty sure that's what it means, so it'll be something. We don't have Commander Coin. Commander Coin doesn't help us too much, I do not think. Okay, we can get the Mass Tech Sever Knot off here. And we can also get the whistles. Oh. Some good sanity gain, always nice. I mean, we probably do just break the body here. I think we've got enough damage coming in that, yeah. We do just break the body. Okay, either gets a clash first, so that's nice. So we get the max sanity for this thing. And it's doing a bunch of damage to other parts. Unfortunately, because of how it works, I believe it takes the damage dealt, and it just throws the other parts, but it's still Envy. So because I think the Alleyway Watchdog's other parts resist Envy, I want to say. Yeah, they do. They all resist Envy, actually, but yeah. So, effectively, that means the other parts got the 0.75 Envy resistance twice, right? Because it takes the damage dealt to the body, and then applies that again as Envy damage, because it's the same sin affinity as the damage of the actual attack you went for. You don't have a lot of HP. We'll flash you, though, just, you know, for safety. And we'll just keep on going for the body and take you down. Good work. You can kind of see the extra damage going through there with Heathcliff. I could have just gone for body sack or like a Paraded ADD or something if I wanted another single target choice, but fine. Now we know what kind of food our foes really hate. Is that, are you telling us damage is the food our foes hate, Nelly? I'm not fully sure what you're getting at there. I assume that's it. Sure. Big bell. Because is buying the Tremor Burst thing? It might Tremor Burst, but we kind of need to get some Tremor if we wanted the Tremor Burst, right? There's only 2 events on this entire floor. That's interesting. Oh no, there's 3. I didn't see that one there for some reason. That works then. Yeah, I know inflicts tremor. It's also tremor burst? Yes, it is. Okay. We need to actually have a way to inflict tremor, though, if that's our goal. Interesting, though, because, Otis's Binds is a super tremor burst eagle. The corrosion is actually just 3 tremor bursts, which is very funny. But what else is funny is that Otis Binds has its own, type of, tremor amplitude conversion. I forget its name. Tremor, what's it called? I forget the name of it, but basically what it does is it means that if you get staggered with a high bit of tremor on you, instead of becoming staggered, it becomes stagger plus immediately. And if you become stagger plus, you become stagger plus plus. Effectively, it raises the stagger level by 1 with that type of tremor, which is very interesting. Stagger level is the kind of thing that's always been a mechanic that exists, but it's hard. It's one that's really hard to make use of because really you need to do so much damage to enemy in a single turn to really trigger it, right? The way to actually get an enemy to stagger plus easier to do even more damage to them certainly sounds really like it's something. Nice. And there we go. We just killed the other enemies there too. Heartwarming. And just one guy left who we can just kill pretty easily. Unfortunately, that means he's lost the full 40 sanity from this fight because it took us 3 turns instead of 2. That's alright. He'll push through, I'm sure. We're getting a lot of sanity just from enemies dying and stuff, right? Because they're higher level than us.
뭐야, 파이팅이다.
Wrong person, whoops. Wrong person again, whoops. There we go, Binds. If we'd gotten Grand Welcome earlier, we could have actually used Otis Binds too, but... Too late for that, innit? Innit, bruv, to, you know, quote the language of Heathcliff's people. AKA the British. That's scary.
거의 칼로 물베기 아니야? 아니, 베어지지 않는 정도는 아니긴 한데. 그래 뭐.
Okay, Mercer lost his clash. That's fine. I'm not very concerned. It happens. 400 damage, cool. Killed a couple of them. A little bit of fragile, but you know the fragile expires instantly, so it doesn't do that much for us. If we get the bell to plus, or even just plus will make it 2, and plus make it this turn next turn, right? Or vice versa, something like that, you know. One of them increases the amount of fragile, and the other one increases the amount of turns it lasts for, which will make it pretty good. Of course, the enemy does need to have tremor, but we do actually inflict like 6 tremor with binds itself. That'll be good enough. You need to go all heads here if we want this. Cool endorphin kit. It helps Heathcliff. No one else, but it doesn't need to help anyone else really. Okay, some charge stuff, it helps. We'll Sinclair go since we want to lose these. We actually had a fair bit of... We didn't have the highest chance of winning, but we definitely could have won that. And we'll take a Pierce fight, why not? If we get the Pierce fight, because it could be like Crabs, which are weak to Gloom. It could be like, you guys, I guess. It very well could be these guys. Fine. Send it. I've also realized that, like, there's no chance we get a 4th Lust attack next turn because the person getting the extra skill slot is Heathcliff guaranteed, right? And, he doesn't have any Lust attacks. Unless we were to, you know, Yasunyada, which I don't think is a very good idea. We could do it though, right? Not about if we can do it, but it's about if we should do it. Or whatever the quote, however the quote goes, right? We should be able to take a bunch of these guys down without too much of a hassle now. So that's good. Winner's always the last one standing. Like, he's just giving us, like, moral, like, advice in that, like, quote. Like, he's being like, oh yeah, don't think about it too much. Don't, you know, all that matters is that guy dies. And you can kind of tell that he's projecting a little bit. But that's fair enough, right? Zippolite kind of late for it, but we'll grab it for the bit. I guess we'll take the contract too. Sure thing. I'd like to upgrade the bell a little bit. I don't think I've got enough to upgrade it if I don't get lucky. No, I do. That's good. Cool, and I don't think we can afford anything else yet. Not that I really needed anything else. On to the fight. Piercing Gloom means it's either Fox, Centipede, or KQE. Fox could be good. Centipede, okay, that's fine. I thought Fox would be funny because, you know, mass attack, but that's fine. Next turn we'll be able to get whistles going, so that's good. Multiple Gloom Resonance. Unfortunately, you physically don't have any Gloom skills. We could Fluid Sack if we really wanted the Gloom Resonance, but it doesn't do much for us. Yeah, I might go for Whistles and then just Binds again next turn. Maybe I'll Corrode it. It's not a bad idea. Well, if I Corrode, I don't know if I want the Whistles, right? I want to just let it Corrode. Yeah, we're doing 50% just constant damage increase due thanks to Artistic Sense, which helps out a fair bit. We're just doing more damage. Yeah, body's almost staggered already. So close to just fully staggering. That's fine. Crit ADD. Do stupid amount of damage for that, I presume. Yeah, body gets staggered, so we don't actually need to clash against it at all. Get whistles to go. Do we want whistles to go? Sure. It'll be a bit of a sandy increase. We kind of want you to get tails right now, but I don't think it makes too big of a difference. And we are clashing into the tail, so you do have a little bit of spark or self-charge. I almost said spark discharge. No. Spark discharge is the name of the Gregor passive. Self-discharge is the one, or self-charge is the one that the Centipede itself uses, right? Bit of a nightmare hunt. And we got heads, that's fine. We would have been better off without the whistles then, but that's okay. The damage you deal with this ego is also going to be dealt twice to the lowest part or something. So enough to get you to 1 HP. So if we the tail would have gone to attack if we didn't clash it, so that's not really a plan, is it? We'll roll with that. Because, you really don't live here. Yep, there we go. That easy. Yeah, that's a victory. We sure did spam Evolve Ego a lot of times and won. Who could have thought that spamming Evolve Ego a lot of times could result in a win? And it's first for everything. You guys didn't take a single point of damage. Fair enough. We're gaming. And get some more Battle Pass levels, which feels so nice. Because we're at the point where it's just Mirror Dungeon just means a nice free 9 boxes once again. Which is nice. I'm stockpiling boxes right now. In case you can't tell. Got a fair bit of them. And I don't particularly need to up tiny egos. I've gotten all the new egos to Threadspin 3, so I can wait a little bit on them. Yeah, we did get the Season 4 3-star guaranteed ticket. Not that that does anything for us, but we have it. So that's cool. Let's see if we get anything from the Daily Extraction. It doesn't seem like it, but it would be nice to get some random shards, right? Nelly Ryoshi's coming next week. I'm just going to be able to shard that, so that's nice. Build my lunacy numbers back up a little bit. After the horrors that were, you know, pulling for IDs the first 2 updates of the season. Yeah, we're up to 6,000 lunacy already. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Bion seemed like a pretty solid ego. Some of the other ones seem potentially solid too. Mercer's has potential for funny middle stuff, and Otis's funny tremor stuff. That's probably going to be the plan for the next 2 days. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!